Hi everyone, and welcome back to my channel. Now it's that time of year when we will start looking at New Year's resolutions and how we can be better and do more in the year ahead. Now, New Year's resolutions, they can be a bit tricky. Actually everybody I know sets a New Year's resolution, and then within like a few weeks, maybe less, a few weeks or maybe less, it's all gone out the window. In this video, I wanted to cover setting New Year's resolutions, how to set them, and what's the best, most effective ways to do that, and then also keeping to them, how to keep to them, and some strategies and different things that you can do to help you stick to those things. Because essentially, these New Year's resolutions, they're what you want to achieve. You want to make your life better in these areas, in whatever areas that could be, like from financially, fitness and health. A lot of the time, I guess that's why gyms see their most effective and busy times in the first few weeks of January, and then it kind of tailors off back to normal levels again. So let's get into it and see what we can do this year to help you stick to these. So let's start off with asking yourself, what is it that I want? I typically have about 5 different resolutions, goals for the new year and the year ahead, and it's important to be able to decide really what it is that you want to achieve. No more than 5. I think if you go sort of towards 10, 15, 20, like it just dilutes it and it makes it less impactful and less effective. So keep it to a fairly short, narrow list. You may only want 1 or 2. That might work best for you. But for me personally, I have typically about 5 goals, New Year's resolutions to start the year with, and I always feel that sense of, yeah, right, this is it. This is going to be the year that I achieve these new things and really push forward. So see where you're at in these areas, and then set the resolution and make it measurable. So you might be saying, I want to lose weight. Well, that's very vague and woolly, and what does that mean? You want to lose weight? I want to weigh, or I typically put it in the present tense, a certain amount by a certain date. So when you're setting these resolutions, I would set it in the present tense, I'd set it in a quantifiable, measurable way, and then set a deadline. Now, you might want to set it for the end of the year, but you may well want to set it sooner than that, so within the first 3 months. It really depends what it is, but it is helpful to break down these goals and have sort of even weekly goals to then reach the ultimate goal. But definitely make it measurable, because that, if you can measure it, you can do it and you can achieve it. So why don't you try that? Next, once you've decided what your New Year's resolutions are, you need to then make a plan, because it's all very well having a goal, but you will need to take quite a number of actions and steps to achieve that goal. It's not just going to happen. You sat on the sofa and you click your fingers and there's your goal achieved, New Year's resolution done, thank you very much. It needs to be planned out. So there's always going to be lots of different steps depending on what it is that you want to achieve. So for me personally, what I do is I get a spreadsheet. That sounds very sort of techie, businessy, doesn't it? Yeah, I get a spreadsheet, or you can get a notebook or anything like that. But the reason I like a spreadsheet is that I put in all the tasks for this goal, and then I put dates next to it when I'm going to do it, because you then need when you're going to do it. Because it's all very well having a very, very long to-do list, but if you don't know when you're going to do each thing, the to-do list just becomes like this long list that you just carry around with you all the time. And it's just, yeah, it becomes much harder. So anyway, so I have this spreadsheet and I have my to-do list and I have my dates, and then I sort it on the date. So I can then see what it is I'm supposed to be doing on that specific day, rather than it being a list that, you know, who knows when I'm going to do it. And chances are it'll just get pushed by the wayside. It's too long, it's too difficult, because you don't want to have to look at the whole list at once thinking, oh gosh, what am I supposed to be doing today? You need to have had that planned out, because it's quite exhausting almost to be feeling like, oh, what should I be doing now? What should I be doing now? Whereas if it's all like planned out in advance, that's just so much easier. I can't tell you what a difference that really makes. So I would suggest you try something along these lines, but you have to make a plan, because without a plan it isn't happening, and it's much easier to like fall off the bandwagon so to speak, when you don't have a particular plan that you are following and working to. So yeah, see how you get on with the plan. Now the next thing I would do is share some of your goals, not necessarily every goal, but with certain people who can help you through it and help you almost become accountable, but not so much accountable, it's more just general moral support. Because there's going to be days where you really, there's going to be the good days and there's going to be the not so good days. But if you have that kind of support behind you, that support team, those few people, one or two people, even just one person that can say, no, you can do it, it's going to be great, and be that support when you need it, it'll help you get through those difficult times. Because it's really when those difficult times come and then you kind of lose track and you're not doing what you need to be doing for your goals, it's quite easy to then be like, oh well, it's not worth bothering, I'm not gonna do it, I've failed, I've messed up my New Year's resolution, what's the point? And then I don't have to do it anymore. I think that's an incredibly easy trap to fall into, and it happens all the time. And I think that's why people stop, because it becomes January and February, oh well, it's not the new year anymore, it's just typical normal part of the year now, we don't need to stick to it anymore. But if you have somebody in your corner who can just help you through those times and say, okay, yeah, today didn't go so well, but that doesn't mean you can't do it tomorrow and the day after. It doesn't mean just because you messed up one day, it doesn't mean that you failed. You still want to achieve those things, right? So that has been something that's helped me through these difficult times, and when it's easy to get on the wrong path and just give up. So don't ever give up. And also with that, it's about keeping this positive mindset. And how do we keep a positive mindset when things are getting difficult and it's a cold, miserable January day or whatever, we don't want to go out for a run, or we don't want to do certain things? I mean, for me, as well as having like the support, I also find a really great way of changing that mindset is I personally like to listen to things. So listen to either music or like upbeat music, get you out of yourself, or sort of success and personal development books or podcasts or YouTube videos or whatever it might be, to sort of almost like surround yourself with these positive people and these positive things that can then really transform your mood. It just makes such a difference if you surround yourself with these things, and within 10-15 minutes all of a sudden you're like a new person. So I think that's worth considering and worth looking at. But the only thing I would say is, when you are in that like negative mindset, that little gremlin will be saying, you don't want to listen to that, no, that's rubbish, no. I mean, I've personally been there, I've had that, but don't let it talk you out of it. Make sure you do listen to some good positive things, and it will keep the gremlin at bay. Now, as you go through the year with your New Year's resolutions and your goals, it's really good to reward yourself as you go along when you achieve these little milestones, and celebrate the sort of small wins. I mean, it's quite obvious when you reach a big milestone, or you finally achieve that New Year's resolution and your goals, but actually along the way it can be really good to celebrate and acknowledge acknowledge yourself and acknowledge what you're doing when you do hit smaller milestones, things that seem potentially not that big of a deal, but they are showing that you're progressing. And if you do celebrate them, it helps along the way, and it helps you keep going, so that you feel like your brain is getting that reward. So it's getting that little dopamine hit in its reward center, that when you achieve something, even if it's small. And that dopamine is something that the brain it absolutely loves it. So your brain will then automatically start almost chasing that dopamine. So that's something to look at and to consider doing, is just rewarding yourself and keep boosting yourself as you go along. And it will help you stick to these resolutions and keep going. And then as you go along, just keep reviewing and adjusting and fine-tuning your plan and your goals, and see what's working, see what's not working. You can never plan ahead totally to know exactly what's going to happen, and it's important to be able to adjust to things as you go along. So definitely allocate time for those regular check-ins. Give yourself a pat on the back and see what's working, see what's not working, and just really commit to yourself that you can achieve these things, because you can. I mean, the human brain and the human spirit is absolutely phenomenal. So you can achieve so much more than you realize that you can achieve. We fulfill a very, very small percentage of our actual full potential, the majority of people in life, which is such a shame. So if you can stick to these things and you can follow through and keep yourself accountable, keep focused, you will be able to achieve like 100 times what you thought initially was possible. You'll surprise yourself, and you will have an amazing, successful new year. So I'm rooting for you and sending you all my best wishes and good positive vibes. So let's have an amazing new year, amazing 2025. And I look forward to recording more videos and engaging more, seeing all your comments. If there's anything else you want me to create videos on and talk about and share, then just let me know in the comments below, and I will try my very best to do so. But in the meantime, if you did enjoy this video, please like and subscribe below, and I will see you all again very soon.